Hey Henry, how's it going? I'm hanging in there. Just been pretty busy this week. What's up, Raccoon? Yeah, it was a good choice to go with the darker skin. I think once we get the trim on her and the hair, it'll come together. I'm gonna work on a blue trim now, then probably the shoes, the tail, and then the hair will be last. Just trying to gather myself. I got up early and started doing some statue sculpting, so just slowly trying to get into. I haven't done any painting really this week. Gotta put the AC on though. They're doing better. My father was okay with it from the beginning. It took my mother a little time to get used to it, but it's definitely the better choice to get them in there because there's no way they could have stayed in the house together with what's been going on. So, and it's easier for me now, so I could just get up in the morning. If I have to take them to the doctors, we schedule it at like 9 o'clock. And I could take them and then come back home. So it's going good. I think it's going good now, but hey, Zeke, can't really see. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Oh, sorry to hear that, Raccoon. Yeah, it kind of hit my father hard because you lose your independence, and I can understand what they're going through, but also at the same time, it's like you have to kind of accept it, you know. Like when I hit that age, it's if I got to go somewhere to do something, I'll do it, but it's just it's life. I know it's coming. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's coming. You can't hide from it. It's the only thing that sucks about white paint. You have to be very careful. What's up, Raz? So Raccoon, are you helping out your mom and stuff? Have you come up with a situation, or just kind of taking it one day at a time? Anything serious, Raz, or just like a bypass or something? Oh, okay. Yeah, my mother had a heart murmur, and she had to have um the valve replaced. So yeah, I can imagine what you guys are going through. She has to be on Coumadin, which is that blood thinner. So yeah, and my father had a triple bypass a long time ago. So I know it's complicated. Well, hopefully it works out though. Yeah, thanks, Henry. Yeah, it's always hard to tell until you start putting color on. So the skin always looks weird in the videos. Yeah, keep your mind busy, Raz. Do some work. Clean up the studio. Well, that sounds good. Yeah, like I said, I want to try to get these items done and then hopefully sell them off. And then I'll have the money for the Jessicas. Just trying to get caught up on everything. Plus, we still got to finish the voting. I'm hoping a couple more people will get in there and vote. I'm not sure. Some people just don't get the emails or even care to vote. So, I don't know. Worst case scenario, we can add a couple more from everybody who is putting in, you know, recommendations. Maybe I'll put a couple of my own in too as well. I don't know. It's alright, Raz. It's just a matter. I'm just hoping the people who are sub will get some votes in or recommendations. There might be some people there that sub and forget their sub too, so. Yeah, they're just examples, you know, so if you got like ideas or there's something you want to see, you know. I'm actually looking forward to working on them. This week I've been sculpting all week and just kind of been in that sculpting mood. So I'm having a lot of fun just kind of getting stuff done. I think what it is during the summertime I like to sculpt more because I can be outside sanding. In the winter I kind of like to paint more. Oh, I like that. I love that game. I love Lollipop Chainsaw. That was such a fun game. I think they're gonna remaster it from what I heard. I'm actually surprised they didn't make more versions of that game because it was like it's like a cult classic now. And I heard that when they remaster it, they said they're not gonna do anything stupid with it. They're gonna keep it true to the way it was, but they're just gonna up the graphics and everything. And I think that's gonna probably wake up a lot of people to it, and probably maybe they'll make more versions of it, like a second one or something. So I think there was a couple Twitter people crying about it. saying it was over sexualized or something. Well, the creator says that he's not doing any of that censoring or any of that other stuff. He says he's going to keep it true to his vision. And he says if you don't like it, then you just don't buy it. But he's keeping it the way it was. That's what he said. And you know, the funny thing is, if he keeps it the way it was and remasters it, he's going to friggin' make bank. Even though the Twitter people will cry about it, he'll probably, you know, get enough money and enough backing to do another one. Yeah, it's just your typical crybabies. You know, they don't spend the money anyway. They just don't want people to have fun. I don't know. It's just so stupid, really. But that is the world we live in now. It's funny, when the companies listen to those little 1% of people on Twitter or social media, they lose so much money because these people don't buy the game anyway. And it's just mind-blowing to me. I don't know, it's like companies got brainwashed into thinking that everybody in the world wants the censoring, but it's only these crybabies on Twitter. But I mean, look at all the video games that are losing money hand over fist because they listen to the Twitter people. But what a lot of people don't understand is the video games that are coming out that listen to the Twitter people was in production for like 4 or 5 years now. You know, it's not something that just came out last month. So they listen to people from a couple years ago, and now they're releasing the item and they're not making any money. So that's kind of what people don't understand is all this stuff was being made a long time ago. 'Cause it takes a long time for this stuff to be made. Yeah, I saw Cobra Kai the first and some of the second season, but I don't know, I just never was really into the Karate Kid. I mean, I saw the movies as a kid, but I never really, I know it's probably blasphemy, but I didn't really care for it. Also, part of me is like, a lot of the stuff that they're coming out with, like, you know, Cobra Kai, the Ghostbusters, this stuff should have came out years ago when these people were still around and when movies and shows were still good back then. It kind of sucks that they have to come out now when everyone's already old. Well, they're gonna make Spaceballs 2, which I think is a huge mistake. in today's world, you can't really make a Spaceballs movie, and all the original guys are gone. And what is Mel Brooks, like 100 years old now? Got no faith in that, because you know, probably what is it gonna be, like Disney who friggin' produces it? They can't even make a Star Wars. They're gonna make a comedy. And I love Spaceballs. Well, yeah, he left Hollywood a long time ago when his wife passed away, so he wanted to take care of his children, so he got out of the movie business a long time ago. But yeah, I heard about that he was attacked in the street. But, you know, Spaceballs, you gotta have the original characters, or, you know, and you can't really bring them back now. I mean, I guess you could, but it's like what they did with Star Wars. You had the original characters; they were super old. You should have did one last hoorah with them. Instead, you know, you ruined it. So. Yeah, that's probably why. That's why I won't even go to New York Comic Con. It's just, it's not worth going in because everything is just a mess. I didn't know he was attacked in the street. That's crazy. I forgot who they said they wanted to put in the new Spaceballs. Who's the guy? I think it was I think it was the guy from Scrubs. I think they wanted to put him in as the lead. He was okay in Scrubs, but I don't think he's going to be good for Spaceballs. I think that's who they said. Maybe, unless that's for a different movie, but... I mean, let's face it, the stuff that Mel Brooks did back in the day, you can't do now. So... And if you did, heads would explode. Have you guys seen those things on Instagram? It's like it's done with AI. It says like, what if Star Wars was done in the 50s, or if Marvel was done in like the 60s, and it's like the AI kind of writes the story, but it's like the images are all kind of warped, but you get the sense that, you know, it's like these characters in that era. The technology with the AI is mind-blowing to me now, that pretty soon we won't even need Hollywood. You just go in there and you write Captain America in the 50s, and you write up a story, and boom, you know? Yeah, I saw the He-Man ones. I saw the, I liked the Star Wars from the 50s. Those were kind of fun. But, I mean, yeah, you could tell AI is taking the images off the internet, and they're like from old movies and old pictures, but you can see like where it's going, you know? It's getting crazy. But that's why I show my friend all the time. I said, this is where AI is going, so you won't need Hollywood anymore. Oh, I also heard that Disney is now going to do a live action of Clone Wars now. That's the rumor. So I guess they want to ruin Clone... Well, I guess they ran out of ideas, so they're just going to do the Clone Wars, but now it's going to be live action. I don't know. That's the latest rumor from Star Wars. Well, that's the thing, is the computers are generating movie scripts now and comic book stuff. It's like, the AI is crazy. Yeah, you can go back to Lucas's books and his you know, his history, and you could write a little synopsis, and you could write up a nice story, and the AI could pump something out. Um, you know, you don't need Hollywood ruining stuff anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm always gonna love traditional artwork because I love, you know, drawings and paintings and watercolor, but I do like the AI stuff as well. Um, you know, there's a place for it all, but it's just that when it comes to like Hollywood ruining everything, I'd rather take the AI and do it myself. You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna just sit there and make crap, and then they're gonna tell us that we're a bad person because we don't like their crap, then I'll just, you know, wait for some fans or myself to pump out some AI stuff. It's mind-blowing to me that they come out and they say that the fans are horrible and the fans are this, and maybe, you know, a couple people are bitching and being nasty, but it's not every fan. Hey, what's up, Terrell? What's up, Iceman? Yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm sure there's people already working on better scripts, and you're gonna see somebody like produce some kind of AI movie, and they're gonna release it free on the internet, and it's gonna blow everybody's mind, and then Disney's just gonna realize that their time is done. I think they realize their time is done already. They're just maybe they're just trying to put the final nail in the coffin so they can kind of collect on an insurance or something. That's kind of my guess. Because at this point, they're just destroying every IP they own. Probably what they're doing. They probably know AI is taking over, so. I found a guy in DeviantArt that does AI artwork, and he did a really cool Power Girl thing, so I contacted him, and he's gonna do me an image. But I was just asking questions, you know, just to kind of get an idea of how AI works and how you do it. So he explained a little bit to me so far. So, you know, at least I'm getting an idea of like how it works. You know, we still got a ways to go, but. Yeah, the park attendance I heard is really bad. Because I saw a video. Somebody, for an adult, it's like $170 a day now. So $170 $8 a day, and if you don't get the fast pass, it's basically useless to go. But I don't understand the fast pass if everybody gets it. Well, not only does it take artwork, it also takes real life picture images of people. So I've seen some AI images where it's like you could tell it was like maybe an old Baywatch picture or an old 80s picture, you know. Yeah, I understand what it does, but it's just the way things are going. But with some of the AI, from what I was told, you got to train it though. You got to like kind of keep training it to get it where you want it. I don't know. Like I said, I like to learn everything, and sadly, you can't run from it. So I'd rather learn about it and understand as much as possible. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Just working on Lola, trying to get her done. And then hopefully once she's done, put her up for sale, and then we'll get the Jessica's printed out and start working on those. Yeah, that's pretty much AI. That's where things are going. It turned what? What are you talking about? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, we're all screwed. I accept it. Hopefully there'll be enough people who like traditional stuff for years to come. It's more or less the new generation, I guess you gotta worry about. I think the old generation still likes traditional and still likes, you know, seeing certain artists. It's the young people that are growing up with it that'll probably just live with it. Hey, I don't blame you. That's go for it. I just know that I'm kind of already been through it in a way. Whereas when I graduated art school, everything was before I graduated, everything was traditional, you know, illustration and traditional, you know, everything. And then as I graduated, graphic design took over everything, Photoshop, Illustrator, and it was very hard to find work unless you knew that. So I had to shift with it. So at that time, people were willing to, you know, were fighting it, but it just came so fast, and companies were like, you know what? If you don't know it, we're not going to hire you, so you had to learn it. And then at that time, you still needed a workforce for stuff. But then as the programs got better and better, less people could do more work, you know? So like I said, I've been through this before with graphic design and traditional illustration. So, and I graduated just as graphic design took over. I know it's not the same exact thing, but in sense it is, you know? Trust me, like, when I was in art school, I was trying to get lined up for jobs at newspapers and do stuff, but when I graduated, they were like, you gotta know Photoshop or Illustrator, we won't hire you, you know? If you compare the time to now, it's sort of the same thing. I would suggest people nowadays is learn AI and utilize it as another tool. I understand, I know you want to die on a hill, but if you take the AI and you start learning on it and you use it as a tool and you get ahead of the game, you can make it work to your benefit. But I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I'm just suggesting. You know, I'm just kind of saying from my perspective and what I went through. You know, I mean, just like look at 3D printing. I always compare 3D printing with laser printing and inkjet. Inkjet used to be like $30,000 a printer, then it got down to 60, and laser was the same thing, and then now, you know, you used to have, you know, when I graduated art school, you would have printing warehouses to print stuff. You know, we would have to send out a disc to a printing warehouse just to do a mock-up color of the ads. And then when it got to the point where you could buy a laser printer, you know, and you could put it in the office and for $60 and do a color mock-up with that. It just put a lot of printing businesses out of business. Yeah, I envision Iceman like, you know, in the middle of Times Square saying with a sign down with AI, you know, and there's like robots and flying machines all over the place, and he's just still sitting there. But I mean, throughout the years, people are still gonna like the old ways and traditional stuff. It's never gonna really go away. It's just that you gotta. I guess it's just like different fads in different times. Like AI is new, and everybody's kind of like into it, and they're getting down to it. But it might get to the point where AI images are so, you know, artwork is so like blah. People are gonna like those traditional artists who have a specific style, you know. Because, you know, like, I like artists. I like Adam Hughes. I like Alex Ross. You know, I like their different styles of artwork. I look at a lot of the AI stuff, and it's really cool. But if you start to really look at the AI, everything is pretty much the same. So, unless those people who tweak AI into a specific style, you can start seeing, like, some people are trying to stylize the work a little bit more. So, I mean, that's just what I see. Yeah, but I know what you're saying, Iceman, but it's a new generation. You gotta understand the kids that are being born now are not only born with cell phones in their hands, they're born with AI apps in their hands. So these kids are gonna have no imagination whatsoever, and they're just gonna be clicking a button and creating a movie or artwork or a comic, and they're done. So us and our generation, we're already a lost cause. Companies and businesses are not catering to us anymore. They're going to cater to the new generation. So we're fossils. They don't care about us anymore. Exactly. Best thing I can say to now is enjoy it while you can, make the money, keep doing what you're doing, and then, but also in the back of your mind, just kind of keep an eye out on how things are shifting. If you, in case you have to shift with it, that's all I can say. Yeah, that's exactly what the new generation is going to start telling us. You know, we'll probably be in our what? If we make it to, well, if I make it to my 60s, 70s, 80s, you know, people will be like, oh, you don't know how to prompt, you know? So, hey, that's where we're going. But, you know, my Generation X, I think we'll be fine. The world could end tomorrow, or the internet could shut down, and my generation would be like, yeah, whatever. We've been through this before. Just mess this up. A little bit of a mess up under there. I have to grab some white paint and clean that up. Got some touch-ups to do on her down the line, but getting there. New booth is working good. That's good. You see a big difference with like overspray now? Well, that's good. Yeah, like I said, when I first got into the hobby, I didn't realize how much of a difference it was to have a booth until I made the one in here. It really changed the game of, you know, making sure things were cleaner. Did I do something on the skin? Yeah, I messed up a little bit underneath her crotch, but I'll fix that later. Is that what you're asking? See, whenever I work on a commission, I don't have the camera in a way to show people what I'm doing. So it's always easier for me to get into certain angles. So trying to do it on camera is always harder. That's why I kind of do these like Friday stuff where it's not that important. Oh no, speckling? No, I didn't do any speckling or anything. I'm not really into doing like speckling or like texturizing or making it look real. I like to try to make everything look comic books colors, you know. There was an old coloring company called Liquid back in the 90s for like Marvel and DC comics. And I really love how they used to shade the comic books because it was like a new way, because it was like when Photoshop and all that was really starting to take over. And I just kind of like the color stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm not into really trying to make everything look realistic and super, you know, I don't know, just not really into that. I don't know, it's kind of, you know, it's the statue hobby is weird. If somebody paints a certain way, but they're not realistic, there's a group of people who completely hate their work. Like, actually hate. Not just like, oh, this guy's got this style, that guy's got that. I've seen a couple people. You could tell some people like to do washes, some people like to paint it with brighter colors, you know. But there's a group of people who believe that if it's not realistic, it's not worth a damn. So I don't know. But I like comic book stuff looking like a comic book. I don't like it looking hyper realistic. You know, like Hot Toys, their stuff is like kind of more realistic stuff because it looks like actors and stuff, which I feel is better, you know, because it's like an actor or an actress or something. But when it comes to like a statue, I like it more like comic book and or like an anime or something like that, for my shelf at least. Hey, what's up, JC? Yeah, that's, I don't know. I see some people, they'll do like hyper realistic, like comic book typefaces and stuff, which is okay, but it's kind of not my thing. I mean, I think the artwork's amazing. I'm not knocking the artwork. It's just that for me, if it was on my shelf, I want it to look like a comic book. He got booted from Patreon? I haven't talked to him in a while. I can't really plug him on YouTube because YouTube doesn't like that sort of artwork. I think wasn't his name banned there for a while on YouTube? I'll have to shoot him an email, I guess. I didn't know about that. Last time I talked to him, I was going to give him a call, and then life hit me pretty hard, so I didn't get a chance to get back to him. No, I just haven't had a chance. JC, I have been so out of it because of my parents over the past couple months. I don't know what's going on with anybody. From what I can tell, everyone's going through hard times now. I haven't even had a chance to like FaceTime or talk to my parents. I'm so focused on catching up on work. I can't, I don't have free time to do anything. Literally my life for the past, since my parents got into the assisted living, I wake up, I get coffee, I come into the studio, I eat lunch, get back to work. I try to maybe around 7 o'clock, if it's nice out, I go for a quick bike ride down to the bay just to get some exercise, come back, have a bowl of cereal, get back to work, and then go to bed. That's kind of what I've been doing. I think that's why I've been having such a major headache over the past couple days, is because I've been wearing the headgear and just focused, so hyper focused on working. Like, even though it's the weekend, I like to do my own personal stuff. I'm still going to be working on commissions tomorrow. Sunday I'll be doing clothes and still doing stuff. Yeah, it's just been rough, that's all. It's just been a rough couple months. You can email me. I think, weren't you supposed to email me something last week? I've been getting, you know what it is too? One of the things I've noticed is since the economy has gone to crap, I have been getting junk mail like crazy. My spam folder is full, so. May I have to send it again, JC. Yeah, I'm trying Patreon just to do like, like Raccoon and others said, it's kind of support me there instead of donating on YouTube. Just to try like, Friday stuff, and I don't know. Some people do well, some people do bad on it. I guess it all depends. I don't even know what Subscribe Star is. I literally have no clue what that is. I haven't been able to do any social media stuff. Like, if you guys have noticed, like, my YouTube videos are pretty crappy lately. I just don't have time to edit them like I used to. Until I get back on track. And then when you go food shopping, it's like $100 for like 3 things. So things are, things kind of suck lately. Yeah, hit me up, JC. I'll try and get back to you with an email. Yeah, Iceman, you should definitely put stuff on YouTube just to kind of get it out there more. If you don't, AI is going to take over. So you better get to uploading. Hey, what's up, Hulk Smash? Just plugging away. Working on the grind. Yeah, that's what we went for. We wanted to go more of a tan skin with her. And then with the white outfit, it makes it pop even more. If you don't like it, you'll have to answer the raccoon. So, you better say you like it. Alright, I'm pretty sure Raccoon will probably let it slide just once. Travis, are you talking about the skin? So, as far as skin goes, there's different possibilities. If you want to do gray and then do a basic flesh, you could do that. If you're into washing, you could do like a red base, not a red, but like a red oxide. See, some people believe that if you do a base gray and then you paint skin over, it's going to turn the skin green. Some people believe that if you do the red oxide primer, it'll have more of an oranger tint. But if you give it a good base coat of skin tone, it doesn't matter what you put at the bottom. Except black. Black is kind of a hard color to really kind of coat, so yeah, it's you could do gray, you could do red, you could do whatever. You just want a primer to stick to the resin. That's important because the paint doesn't like to stick to resin too well. You want your primer to stick to the resin and then your paint will stick to the primer. That's what you need to do. Hey, what's up, JK? Yeah, it's a 1/4 scale. So she's about 18 inches. Something like that. Yeah, the problem with white paint and yellow paint is it's very hard to paint over a very dark color. So if you really needed to paint white on an area and it's black, you can paint a different color over it or a metallic, like Tamiya Chrome Silver. So if you thin this down a little bit, you know, this is a Chrome Silver X11. If you thin this down a little bit and you spray an area with it, you'll have a nice silver color. But you can paint over this once it dries like a white or yellow, and it'll be a nice bright yellow. And you don't have to layer and layer and layer. Like with the black paint, you have to layer and layer and layer till you get it nice and white. Yeah, like when I painted this white, I went over skin tone, so the white was okay and it stayed bright. But if I was to paint the white over blue, I would have to do a couple layers, and even then you still might see some of that blue showing. So yeah, I would suggest trying to do something over it first. And then black is a very crappy primer. I don't like using black as a primer. I like to use the gray or the red oxide as primers in a base coat. But I mean, at the end of the day, it depends on what kind of look you're going for. There's a couple guys in the hobby that paint dark to light and light to dark, you know? So I like to spray my skin tone as the base color, and then I like to put in my shadows and blend it out. There's other guys who paint the whole item in their darkest shade, and then they highlight everything. So it depends on how you want to paint, I guess, too. Everybody's different. Some guys in the hobby complain about other painters the way they paint, but it's just how you like to paint, though, and what works for you. I never realized how much drama there was in this hobby until I really started getting into it more. But like my one art professor said, at the end of the day, as long as you get to the final result and you're happy with it, and you know, that's all that counts. So you don't have to do what everybody else does. Yeah, so if you like the way Sideshow does their skin tone, you could do that route. They like to wash everything, and their artwork is amazing, you know? It just depends on how you like to paint. I don't know. Like I said, the statue hobby is funny. I believe it's like art, so some people see things different and they paint the way they want to paint, but then there's a lot of collectors who are like, well, it's not realistic, it's not like this, you didn't wash, you didn't do this, it's bad, I don't know. I don't know if the guys in like the 2D hobby, like, you know, all the guys that do like 2D drawings and that have Patrons, I don't know if I'm pretty sure they got drama in their communities too. Put the base up. There it is. Alright. Well, the trim went pretty good. Not perfect, but that has a lot to do with the lines I did. I think we can do the shoes and then maybe work on the hair. See how this works. I did her lace on her stomach area purple, so I might do her shoelaces purple too. I don't know. See how this works out. Yeah, JK, I kind of I've learned that. I don't know. That's why I stay off the social media stuff. Stay out of the groups. Let people argue on their own. I don't know, Iceman, with the AI coming, I think you're going to find yourself in a lot of drama. But then again, I haven't really gone to a lot of the shows, you know, like I haven't gone to like Wonderfest or any of that stuff, so I'm not sure how things are going anymore on that side of the hobby. No, I don't think I'm gonna do that bright of a color. I think purple, only because she's got like a little bit of a purple tint on her white. You probably can't see it in camera, especially right now, probably because of the lights. But I'm thinking because there is some purple in here, and there's some purple down in there. I know, Iceman, I'm just busting your balls on it. Just promise me if you ever end up at going to like a protest of AI, let me know. I want to watch YouTube to see if you pop up on it. Yeah, but AI is just a baby right now. It's not fully grown yet. Give it time. You got issues, dude. Got issues. I need my turntable. This is why I need to make another turntable. I need more than one. This huge statue on it. Socks? No, she doesn't have socks. I'm masking off the shoes. All the artwork I've seen of her, she doesn't have any socks at all. Maybe the movie she did, but a lot of the artwork I've seen, nobody really makes socks on her. And once I do paint work, though, I never go back to sculpting. So if you see me, if you see a character I'm working on that's painted, then that's it. There's no other, because I would destroy all this skin tone, you know. I wasn't even sure if I was gonna be able to stream today. We had a crazy rainstorm today, and I was like having my power flicker all day this morning. And I think it was around 12:30, just as I'm finishing lunch, it's kind of stopped. I don't know, it was kind of a weird storm today. And it wasn't even like thunder or lightning, it was just like crazy rain. the best kind of peanut when you can just slap paint on it. It doesn't matter where the paint goes. Raz, I just got your email. Well, actually, I'm just looking at your email now, and that's a nice lollipop chainsaw figure. That might be something I might have to do down the line. Is the file large enough to go 1/4? That might be a way down the line item, though. Okay. Yeah, let me know how it is when you print it out. I'm kind of... It's probably one of the... I think I've seen 2 or 3 sculpts of her, but I think that's a nice one. I think there's more sculpts of her out there, if I'm not mistaken. By the time I'm ready, though, they'll probably do the remastered one. I'm pretty sure they'll have a better image of her. You know, especially if they go like the graphics like Resident Evil games now. Yeah, like I said, I think there is more, but I'll have to look. Well, I like 1/4 because that's like my sweet spot in my shelving. I'm not really a fan of 1/6. I like 1/4. It's kind of the 1/3 is too big, but 1/4 is kind of like perfect. 1/5 is okay, but so far everything is 1/4, and that's what I like the most. But then again, I don't like crazy bases though. I like a 1/4 scale with a nice simple little round base with little something. The big 1/4 with the huge bases I don't like. So yeah, once I get some projects done and I get them out the door, Raz, I'll be and I get back onto like steady funds after this past couple months. I'm gonna have to send you that head, and you're gonna have to print out a head in same scale. I'll let you know once I get there. Gotta finish up a couple side projects and commissions, and I should be hopefully semi back on track. So I want to get a project ready for the winter, so this way I can sort of customize it a little bit before the winter hits and then paint it in the winter. That's the goal, but you know how the goals happen. Something always comes up and gets in your way. Yeah, smaller bases are, like from example of collectors, Iceman, a lot of collectors for a while were really crazy into these big bases, and the statue companies were making all these elaborate bases, and you'd have this big base and you have this little character on it, you know? But it got to the point where a lot of collectors I talked to realizes they don't have room for all these bases, so now the companies seem to be shrinking down the bases a little bit more. Because you can't keep selling statues if you're selling these huge bases and nobody has room for them anymore. So a lot of collectors are kind of going back to that museum sort of smaller stuff. Sounds good, Raz. Yeah, I'll get there. I'll keep you posted. There's a lot of things to do, not enough time in a day, and the economy's just killing everybody, so. I just ordered more supplies, and I can't believe how much they all went up. I ordered more glue, and I got more of the putty. So I ordered 3 of these. These used to be like, oh, it used to be like $2 a piece, $3 a piece. And now they're like almost like $7 a piece, $6-7 a piece. And then I ordered a batch of my glue, so I was on my last tube. These used to be 5 for like $25 or $22, so now they're like $32 now. Damn things are, everything's gone up. If I hadn't known all this was gonna go up the way it did, I would have stocked up on this stuff like 2-3 years ago. Just have a stockpile of this shit. Yeah, I when I found those gray primers from Duplicolor on Amazon, I ordered I ordered like 7 cases of it. I just said screw it, I'm buying as much as I can now, so I'm down to like 5 cases left. I figure the way things are going now, order in bulk while you can, before, you know, we have another something happen and then you can't find anything. Okay, so we're gonna do the shoes, and then after that, keep plugging away. Oh, I'm gonna set up the kale. I never came across that. Well, let me know how they work out for you. I haven't had to really order many paints lately. Then again, I'm not really into the painting stages yet for a couple items. Alright, I'm going to do a, let's see, this is some grayish blue I got, and then I'm going to try to dry brush some white on it. I want to try to pull out the texture a bit. Yeah, a lot of the gloss stuff you don't really need to protect, but sometimes it helps. But a lot of black gloss I've never really had issues with. What I need to do is buy some golden tube paints. I ran out of a bunch of those colors, so I gotta get some tube colors. Probably gotta order another bottle of this Wicked White. I'm down to like this much left. See where it is. Alright, it's getting a little too chilly in here. Let's turn this off a bit. Alright, we got this brush over here. I don't want the shoes looking perfectly white. Give them a little bit of a older look to them. I don't know how well you can see it in the camera. Hey Collective Minds, how's it going? What's up, Jerry? Yeah, Jerry was willing to help me out the other week with a project without going into detail. So I gotta put Jerry ahead of the list for the next couple projects that I take on. It's good to reach out to people once in a while that you know in a hobby you do work for and see if they're willing to help you out with something. Yeah, these came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the way I sculpted these, even though it's kind of like the first time I ever did it. do the stripes, and hopefully I don't mess up and do the wrong ones. I grabbed the wrong brush. I think I did. Yeah, I did. No wonder why. I don't know why the hell it wasn't working. Oh crap, I sculpted something. I gotta make sure it's not working on it. Hold on 1 second. Oh, good, it worked out good. Alright. Left something on the floor to sort of dry and sort of at an angle so it doesn't flop down on me. I was just remembered I left it there. Maybe I'll just do the laces gray and then maybe change her lace on. No, maybe I'll do purple. Why not? I don't know. Should I do them purple or should I leave them gray or leave it as is? They got a nice old look to them right now. I actually really like the way the sneakers came out. Looks like the pair I wear. Maybe we'll just go gray. Let's see, where's that gray paint? Yeah, the gray looks a little bit better on them. Keep it gray. Change the bow on her shorts. Go gray. You're getting your airbrush back now? Did he clog it up on you? Yeah, airbrush clogged is never a good thing. Always a pain in the ass to... I did that a month ago. I left the airbrush on the counter and I went in the garage. I came back and I thought, you know, I forgot I didn't clean it. And later that night I was like, oh crap. And then I had to sit there for 30 minutes cleaning it out. Yeah, what you should do is get yourself a new airbrush and give him the one he messed up. Createx airbrush paints? Yes, I do. But I try to stick to their Wicked color paints more. Well, I'll show you. Do I have any regular Createx left? I don't really have Createx paints anymore. I have the auto stuff. But... So, they have Createx paints, and then they have these, well, I guess this is an airbrush. Yeah, this isn't the auto one. So they have this. The reason I don't use regular Createx paints is because they're very rubbery, and you have to heat set them. Which means that when you airbrush your item, if you ever have to go and sand down a part, it peels. It doesn't sand like a primer will. So I don't really try to use this stuff. The only reason why I have this is, I think, my last bottle of regular one because it was a fluorescent, but this is like 7 years old. Createx makes Wicked colors, and these are actually a little bit better than the regular Createx paint. So if you're going to buy Createx, buy the Wicked colors. Now this Wicked white is the best white paint I've ever used out of everything so far. I've tried Tamiya whites, Vallejo whites, golden whites. This so far is the best white paint I've ever used because because white is very chalky. So, for example, some of the Createx paints, like regular Createx yellow, red, and white, crack. They're very chalky and they crack on me. They, like, when I would spray an item, they wouldn't go on correctly and they would sort of like crackle. But like the blues and the greens and the blacks are very rubbery.
and it would go on very like they would go on smooth, but you have to sit there and heat set it. And if you don't heat set it with an air blower or dryer, it might not cure correctly. But the Wicked colors so far, this white is the one I use the most, but I haven't really bought that many Wicked colors to try, but the white one is the best one. I've never tried the metallic Createx stuff, only because I like the Vallejo metallics and stuff, and I use the other ones. Another example of Createx, which I think these are Createx, maybe they're not. No, these are, let's see, hold on a second. Alright, so they have auto colors. Now, I don't know if these auto colors were Createx or not, but I don't really see these anymore. This was a really great gold, but I haven't really been able to find this type of gold anymore. But Wicked Colors makes a gold, but if you look at my bottle, all this here is the color, but there's only this much of the gold pigment at the bottom. See, this is a wait, this might be pearl. No, this is metallic gold. So this is why I don't like Wicked Colors anymore, of their metallics and their pearls, because this is all the pearl paint, but this is all this weird gunky white stuff. So you don't get your money's worth when you buy these metallics and pearls from Createx, even the Wicked Colors. Where this old Auto Air, this you could see that this was always like a really great pearl, gold metallic, but they don't make this anymore. So that's why I don't buy like their pearls. The pearls are okay, but their metallics are just crap. I mean, there's this much pigment of gold and this much of all this junk, and I forgot when I got this bottle, but it's been sitting here, and when you shake this all up, it takes forever to get this gold pigment onto an item. So that's why I don't buy Createx metallics much anymore. I mean, it's hard to see, but this much bottle of Model Air Gold is about the same amount of pigment that's at the bottom of here. So this is probably what, like $24, where this was like, $6. It's the same amount. So that's why I stay away from the metallics of Createx colors. The pearls are okay, but the metallics suck. Hopefully that kind of gives you a little insight. I don't know. I just I can't find those Auto Air colors anymore. I don't know if they still make them. Maybe they do. I thought they were always Createx colors, so I don't know. Yeah, if they make those Auto Air colors, the metallic gold was one of the best golds I've ever used, because it felt like that gold. It was those gold I used for all those Dark Phoenix statues. And actually, let me look online if they still make them. Usually, I go on eBay and see. Is it Auto Air? Metallic gold. Yes, yeah, I think it's. I don't think they call it Auto Air. Maybe they do. Oh, yeah, it is. It is an off-brand of Createx. It's Createx Auto Air. But I don't know if they,
Candy too? Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I called up Createx and I bitched at them about the metallic. Well, it's not the same anymore, and they told me they changed their formula, but they claim it's the same gold, but it's not. Hey, Russian Nightmare. Yeah, you can email me. I'll try and get back to you on Sunday. I mean, I'll be honest, I am backlogged. I can't take any new work, but if you do have something you're working on or you need me to work on or help with, I can help. But I'm still really, really backlogged. Gray looks better than purple. Okay, that works. It's coming along pretty well. I'm gonna work on the tail. We'll let this dry, and then and I forgot what we said we were doing on the tail. It's kind of like a brownish color, I think. You want him holding a shield? What kind of shield? Or are you just gonna make one up? I guess we could pull off the magazine. Oh, I think I know what shield you're talking about. If I remember correctly, it had spikes on it, I think. I do remember the sword and stuff. Where is... I think I closed all my Lola pictures out. Where the hell did I do with the Lola pictures? Alright, so I think we're going to do like a off-whitish, brownish sort of blend for the tail. color. White. I think, a little bit of yellowish color in there, and then maybe a little bit of a brownish color. She doesn't really have any dark colors on the art I have. Yeah, casting has gotten crazy. I just had to buy stuff to cast up an item for somebody. For the gallon kit of mold and the gallon kit of resin, and plus shipping was like almost $300. And the sad thing is, if you don't buy the gallon kits and you buy the trial kits, it's like a little bit more than half the cost, and it's way less material, so you might as well just buy the gallon stuff. I mean, I needed the gallon stuff anyway, but and also you can't stock up on molding and resins because it's just got a shelf life, so you can't stock up on it when it's cheap. So it's like you have to deal with it, which sucks. A good price, like I get everything from Smooth On, so whatever they charge from Reynolds, because Smooth On has like a side company called Reynolds and they sell all their stuff. The thing with me is I'd rather buy quality and spend a little bit extra money than buy some cheap stuff and run into issues. So I love the Smooth On product, so I buy theirs. So like I said, a gallon kit of mold and a gallon kit of resin comes out to like $300 shipped. So it's a fair price. It's just that the materials have gone up, so there's nothing really you can do about it.
Like, honestly, I don't think you could really even like gauge fair prices anymore. It just is what it is now with the petroleum-based products, I guess. So. Where is my other color? You could use the cheaper stuff, but you mean rotocasting? A lot of the stuff I've done, I've never had to rotocast, but I mean you can rotocast, which is basically you put resin in an item and you turn it. They have turning machines, so for example. I'll use one of my smaller ones, if these are the right ones. Hold on. So, you know, this is a mold, you know, and what you do is you could pour your resin in the item, but you got to close it off, and then they have a thing where you just kind of turn, you know, like just think of like the when they turn the balls for the lottery, and as the resin cures, as it's turning, you get a air pocket in there, so you don't fill up the whole entire item, you just fill it up enough where you can rotocast it. But you could turn it with your hand too, you know, you could kind of do this, and then when you pop it out, it could be hollow, so you could do that. That's basically rotocasting. So you can rig up something too. You could get a bar, you know, and you can grab something and you can kind of put it on two pieces of wood, and you can kind of like make up a crank if you wanted to do something cheap. But yeah, that's what rotocasting is. So if you wanted to save on resin, so if the whole item would take this much resin to make it solid, you put this much in there, half of it, you know, and then you just rotocast it. But it all depends on the speed of the resin. If you have fast setting resin, by the time you pour it in there and then try to rotocast, it'd be too late. But they have resin that cures in 10 minutes, 25 minutes, a half hour, 45 minutes, and then like, you know, 6 hours or 3 hours. So it all depends on how much resin you're going to use. You're going to be turning it. There's a lot more involved in it. So, but I mean, the resin I use for when I cast my stuff is 5-minute resin. So it's like it cures in like 5 minutes. So it doesn't mess around. had the bottle of paint the second thing. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. That I don't know. What I've done in the past, when I was doing a lot of those head bases, and for me, whenever I try to guesstimate something, you know, to try to kind of come up with an idea, for example, let's say, just for example, say I'm using the, I have to fill up an item, right? And I think the item is going to be this much resin, you know, like this much. I'll mix up a little extra, but I'll have something next to me. And what I'll do is I'll pour in my mold, and then after I'm done, say I have like this much left or this much left or whatever's left, I mark it on my cup with a black marker, and I try to mark how much I'm going to need for every pour. But I always leave a little extra too, just in case I sort of like spill or I kind of mess up something. But you can buy mixing containers off of, like, you know, Amazon that have milliliters. They have, like, you know, stuff. You could buy small cups, big cups, large cups, very tiny cups. And I bought a bunch of those when I was doing all those head bases. So what it did is it took me like 3 castings to come up with an idea that it would be like 350 milliliters per like casting. So I would mark every cup, and I would, you know, I would have A and B on each cup, and I would I would write it down on paper, like how much it would take. So that's how I used to gauge my stuff. But honestly, I don't know of a way to, like, you know, to like say, okay, this is how it's gonna work, and then you're done. So it's hard, and I'm still new to all this as I go. So. Like, I'm not a pro at, like, molding and casting at all, but I'm trying to get better as I go. And I'm sure the way I mold and cast, a lot of guys that are pros in the hobby would be like, what the hell are you doing, you know? Because you're supposed to, when you mold, you're supposed to measure so much of the red liquid for the mold. And you're like, how much mold you have, you're supposed to do a certain percentage of grams. I personally just say screw it. I just throw in the hardener and mix up, because I don't sit there and mold like 40 like items in a full item of a character. I just do like head bases or one-offs now. So I just kind of mold it just to make a quick mold, and I'm done. I pressure pot, when I was molding all those head bases, I pressure pot everything, because in the long run, if you're going to cast up, like, you know, 20 items, you don't want to sit there and just pour in your mold, you know, just pour in your resin and then pop it out and have to fill up the air bubbles. Oh, a vacuum chamber, yes. When I do my molding, that pink mold I just showed you, I do vacuum it, because when you have it in your cup, you know, when you have your like, say when you mix up the I use Mold Max 30, so it's Mold Max 30 from Smooth On, and what I do is when you mix up it looks like, you know, Nestle Quick Milk. When you degas it, it starts to bubble up to the top and it can overflow. But the longer you degas it, then it goes back down, and then when you pour it, it comes out like smooth taffy's, like butter. And it goes over your item, and you don't have to worry about anything. So you definitely need to degas the mold. As far as pouring in your resin in the mold, a pressure pot works good to get all those bubbles out. But there's also a lot more involved to it too. It's the angle of your mold. Like, so you say you want to make a mold of this, right? And when you pour in your resin, you pour in your resin like this, right? But if you have in your mold and you pour it like this, so when the resin comes down, it might not fill up this little area here and you get bubbles. But if you have your item perfectly flat like this and you put it down, you might get bubbles all around the item. So you have to also learn to where you put your mold and how it's going to get poured, and also your pour spouts. There's a lot more to molding and casting than you think if you start to have a really complex item. And like I said, I'm not the perfect pro for molding and casting to give the best advice. And like I said, I'm pretty sure the guys who are pros, if they watched me and how I do stuff, they would probably be like, what are you doing? You know, like, but then again, I'm not sitting molding and casting and making tons of copies to send out to clients. So, you know, I just do a lot of one-offs now. Like, I just casted up an item for somebody that wanted a head base. But instead of sitting there and doing everything like for the custom I'm working on, so instead of sitting there, you know, sculpting from scratch, we just kind of molded and casted the body and made a one-off. So for something like that, it's really easy. But, you know, really complex stuff, it gets difficult. I learned my lesson the hard way when I was doing all that molding and casting. I was put stuff in the wrong angle, so every time I poured it in there, I would get like a nasty bubble and I would lose a whole section. So I had to go in there with the mold and cut like extra spouts and stuff. It's a pain in the ass, actually. I understand it, and I get it now. It's just that I don't want to do it all the time. Molding and casting is... I give a lot of credit to the guys in the hobby that do it. Like, if I have a friend or something and they're like, hey, I want you to mold and cast this, I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing that crap. What the hell? I look at it this way. If you sculpted it and you want to make some copies of it, you might as well just do it. But also the other thing is, alright, so say your hand is like this, right? And you want to put a sword in there and then another axe, it's okay. But if you got to have the hand sort of like crumpled or into a fist, then it's a matter of just sculpting the key and then redoing the fingers, you know? Like make a mold of the hand like this, and then you can crunch the fingers and then make a fist, but you got the key that fits in everything. So you just got to weigh out your options and see which better. Okay, that didn't turn out the way I wanted to, but at least I got some colors in the darker areas. Don't know why. Yeah, if you sculpted it from scratch and you don't want to make the key over and over, you can just make a mold of it and then do the key and then redo the fingers. Then that, I don't see a problem with that. Let's try this again, because that did not work out the way I wanted. Trying to get that blend going, and I think when I did that dry brush, the brown killed it on me. Her hair is like this color. It's not like, it doesn't really have any, it's like a reddish orangey white. Alright, what do you think of this for the tail? Maybe too, it's not as bright in the camera. Hold on, let me set it up a bit. Like I said, in the camera it might be a little too white up top, but it's actually not. It's really more yellowish, furish kind of color like she has. I think the camera's making it look too blue. I don't know, how's it look on your end? I was messing with this camera the other day and yeah, it's the camera. It's making everything look blue and it's not. And it's really not that bright either. It's a in person. It's a little bit more like I'm looking at like her animated colors and some of these other colors, and they're more. Let's see. I'll post this picture. It's kind of closer to this picture, and it's not gonna work. I don't understand this camera, man. Some days it's looking great, and other days it's not. But when it's time to get another camera, I'm gonna have to ask people if they have any recommendations. Maybe that's a little bit better. Like I say, I messed with this camera, and the other day it was running great. Now it's, I don't know. I need to find a better camera next time. So that's manual. Sorry, I'm just kind of in trying to figure out why. Like manual exposure doesn't work, TV exposure doesn't work, program AE sort of, but not sure why. And I think if I put the lamp on. And then if we go to Spotlight, sorry, just bear with me. I'm just want to kind of gets on my nerves that sometimes this works and I don't know if it's the cameras, I don't know if it's the studio. I don't know if I hit some wrong button on it. Probably did. I tried to get a guy, a friend of mine says his friend is like a professional photographer and stuff. I tried to see if one time he would come down and help me, I would pay him, but the guy says he doesn't want to be bothered, so. That's looking a little bit better. bear with me. Just trying to get a better lighting. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. So you kind of see it. It looks a little bit better on the camera. Hopefully it looks a little bit better for you guys. What am I on? I'm on, if I can remember this. So this is, Program AE. Yeah, so you can kind of see what the tail looks like. And maybe you can see the shoes finally with this setting. So, that's what the shoes look like. Let me wash my hands. We'll put her on the base and see how she looks. This is why I can never be a full-time YouTuber. Can't get the camera to work correctly. Let's get you onto your base. At least the shoes look good against the wood. Yeah, shoes look great against the wood. Bugs looks pretty good. Skin's looking good. Alright. Like the tail. The good thing about the tail though is it's not magnetized, so you don't really need to glue it in. Just kind of let it set in there and just kind of fall down. The basketball I don't want to mess with right now on her because I'll probably mark it up. But let's see. So it's just the basketball and then the hair and then the logo. So we'll probably next week we'll work on the hair, and then after that I'm gonna have to get the basketball in separately because that's gonna require some maze work and maybe some gluing, and then I'll have to touch it up, and I gotta touch up the glove, so that's gonna be a little tricky. Basketball is gonna be right here. But if I try to mess with it now, I'm gonna scrape up her paint. There's a big hole right here, and the way it's gonna work is I gotta put the basketball in with the metal rod that's there, and then let it sit, and then sort of rebuild this, and then touch this up with paint. It was the only option I could come up with. But we do have the basketball is painted, so the basketball is ball painted up. So it's gonna go right there, so that's gonna look pretty good. But, and as you see, the base is all that was when we turn the light on. Okay, so you can probably see a little better. So yeah, so all the wood is pretty much broken up. We did all the mud. The side is as good as it's gonna get. Shoes looking pretty good. I like the way they're popping on off the base now. She definitely stands out with the white. White outfit really stands out. We do have the logos too. The logos are all ready to go. So where is her shirt logos? So we do have the logos. So if I'm not mistaken, I think the shinier one is the thicker paper and the duller one is the thinner paper. We're gonna use the duller one because I don't want this shirt to look like super shiny. So we'll pick one of these logos and we'll put it on, and then after that we'll dab white paint on it to make the logo look a little worn out. So probably like this logo here. Yeah, this probably be perfect on there. And she's almost there. Harley is still on the back burner until I can get that paint in. I gotta still order it. I haven't had a chance to order that red paint, but Harley is kind of almost done. I still gotta touch up stuff on Harley, sadly. Oh, and then I also fixed up her base. I haven't completely fixed it yet, so as I mentioned, there was a gap here. See this red here on her base and the red over here? For some odd reason, I missed these gaps. So what I did is I had to fill in these gaps with some Aves, and I had to sand it down and do some putty work. I haven't quite finished this yet, but sadly, I don't understand how I missed that. That was my fault. I guess it was just, it looked like it was there, but it wasn't. So I still got to fill some putty in here and stuff. But I'll get this cleaned up and matched up. Yeah, but that's where we're at now. So, yeah, she looks pretty good. So I think next week, like I said, we'll get on the hair. Maybe I'll have this camera, if I friggin' get off my ass and actually fix the camera. That's actually better. Alright, that's where I'm going to call it for tonight. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I don't think I'm going to be doing any live streams during the week, but you never. I might do something tomorrow if I got something to work on. I'm not sure yet. I got to see how things go tomorrow morning. But that's where we're at. Alright, I'm calling it a night. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. I might be back tomorrow. We'll see how the day goes. I'm not sure yet, but if I am, it'll be something else I'm working on.